If you could get paid every month or every quarterly just for holding 3 simple investments, would you do it? So today I thought it would be great to share my 3 best Canadian ETFs for dividends and for stress-free passive income. There are so many great ETFs out there, but these ones I'm sharing are the ones I personally trust to grow my wealth without having to watch the market 24/7 or having to go into the trading, because that is something I don't know how to do. These ETFs have proven track record of consistent payouts and low maintenance. Now, if you're a beginner in investing or you just want to build a smarter income streams, this video is for you. Before we get into my 3 top picks, let's talk about the things I considered before choosing these ETFs. Number 1 is consistent dividend payouts. These dividend ETFs have proven track record of consistently paying ETFs monthly or quarterly without any stories. Number 2 is low management fees, MER. MER stands for Management Expense Ratio, and it includes management fees, taxes, and various operating expenses. So it is the cost of you investing in an ETF or a mutual fund. It is typically expressed as a percentage. For example, the MER of SIC, for example, is 0.06%. So this MER is typically subtracted from your overall return. So you see, that's why we need to pay attention to it, because it could affect your returns. Okay, now the third thing I considered before choosing these ETFs is that these ETFs have strong underlying companies or sectors. That is why you are sure that your dividend will be paid every month or every quarter without any stories. And we are talking about sectors like finances, energy, utilities, telecoms, and the rest. And this takes me to the 4th reason why I chose these dividend ETFs, which is these ETFs, they have long-term solid performance, always never disappointed. So they are not just about dividend payouts. Your capital growth is possible because of their long-term financial security. So with that being said, let's get to the first ETF, which is VDY. VDY is a subset of the ETF SIC, which is also one of my favorites, and I'll come to that later. But VDY is my favorite because it focuses on the companies that pays high dividends, and it's only about 61 companies in total. We're talking about banks, telecoms, energy, utilities companies, and these are companies that dominate the Canadian economy. The companies with top holdings in VDY is the TD Bank, RBC, and Enbridge. The dividend yield for VDY is between 4.1 to 4.2% because it's for trades, and this dividend is being paid monthly. So every month you have that stress-free passive income being deposited into your brokerage account. VDY has a higher management fee, MER, of 0.2%, and this is because it takes a lot of work to manage these higher paying dividend ETFs. The MER is higher, yes, but you cannot compare that with a mutual fund that takes about 2 to 3% in fees from you every year. Let me give you an example. If you invest $1,000 in VDY, you will pay $2.20 as MER yearly. Now, you cannot see this MER charges separately anywhere, in your statement, because it is inbuilt in the price of the share. But that notwithstanding, let's do a little calculation on that. VDY pays a dividend yield of 4.2% and MER of 0.22%. So subtract 0.22% from 4.2%. We are left with a net income of 3.98% plus capital gains. Because remember, VDY is not only about dividend payouts. Your capital is also growing. And that is even where the real wealth is, because of what is called compound interest. I have explained that in my videos. Please If you want to learn more about compound interest, please do check my video on that. Now, since the dividend is paid monthly, it will be spread out, and because of that, it will be hard to qualify for DRIP, Dividend Reinvestment Plan. You need about $14,300 in VDY shares with dividend yield of 4.2% to qualify for a DRIP. So a DRIP allows you to reinvest your dividend back into your ETF, to continue increasing your capital and also continue earning the dividends. And when you qualify for this DRIP, you will earn $600 every year or $50 every month passively. But you don't have to put in this amount if you can't. Myself, I haven't reached there yet because I have other shares I invested in. But you can slowly build it while you enjoy your dividends and your capital growth. Now, these are the things you should have in mind about VDY. VDY is less diversified because it focuses on only the companies that pays high dividends. So for me, our advice, don't rely solely on VDY because there's need to diversify. So make sure to have other dividend ETFs I've been mentioning in the course of this video in order to diversify your portfolio. The second dividend ETF on my list is the SIC. SIC contains 218 largest companies in Canada, like financial, energy, utilities, telecoms, which are also the companies that dominate, Canadian economy. Now, if you search for Canadian dividend ETFs, SIC might not be on the list. This is because SIC is not originally a dividend ETF, but because it contains those companies that dominate the Canadian economy, and these companies, they pay dividends. That's how it automatically becomes a dividend ETF. SIC has a dividend yield of 2.58%, and the dividend is paid quarterly, that's every 3 months. 2.58% yield is of course lower than 4.2% of the VDY, but when it comes to management fee, the MER is lower, which is 0.06%. And also it has a great diversification because it contains 218 companies. So as usual, let's break down the fee. If you invest $1,000 in SIC, you will pay $0.60 yearly as MER, which is really small and only a fraction of what you will pay in mutual fund fees. And like I said before, MER is inbuilt in the share price, so you never get to see them. But let's do a little calculation because the truth is that it is a fee. So with a dividend yield of 2.58% and MER of 0.06%, take away 0.06% from 2.58%, you will have a net income of 2.52%. Remember that the same thing is applicable to the capital gains. For example, if there's a growth of 10% in the year and 0.06% MER, our net income for the capital gain is 9.94%. Now, when it comes to DRIP for SIC, the dividend yield of 2.58% and the price of $41, which is the current price now, you need $6,400 to qualify for your DRIP. And if you have $6,400 in your SIC share, you will receive $165 every year or $41.28 quarterly passively in dividends. Now, when it comes to volatility, SIC has experienced its highs and lows, especially during Trump's tariff in April 2025, but within weeks it recovered and back to high stand. This is why it's very important to consider the kind of share you invest in, because many people lost so much during this Trump tariff and they have not still recovered till now. The last but not the least on my list is SEI. This ETF contains 74 largest companies in Canada. It is also a subset of the ETF SIC, just like the VDY, and it also pays high dividends, just like the VDY. But it has more dividend yield than the VDY because it has more companies than the VDY. VDY has 61, SEI has 74. So the dividend yield for SEI is 5.4%, and it pays out its dividends every month just like the VDY. Its management fee is the same as VDY, that's 0.22%, which is inbuilt in the share price just like I mentioned earlier. Now let's do the same calculation. Let's say you invest $2,000 in SEI, you will pay a management fee of $4.40 yearly. So with dividend yield of 5.4% and MER of 0.22%, our net income will be 5.18%. Now for this ETF SEI, its dividend yield is high, 5.4%, but the share price is low, which is $27.90. So this makes it easier to qualify for DRIP. With $6,200 at 5.4% yield, you qualify for a DRIP. And with this $6,200 in your share, you will earn $335 every year in dividends, or $27.90 as monthly passive income. Now, when it comes to brokerage accounts, I personally use Questrade because now they don't charge commission fee anymore. Before now, they used to charge commission fee, but not anymore. Also, Wealthsimple charges no commission fee. So if you would love to open a brokerage account with the Questrade and earn a free sign-up bonus, please check my link in the description below. I'll also get a bonus if you use my link and invest $100 within 30 days. Please, if you enjoyed this video and you find value in it, please support me by clicking the like button and subscribe if you haven't. I also have some interesting videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.